This is Hidden Killers Week in Review.
A look back at the most prolific stories of the week.
This is the Hidden Killers podcast with Tony Brueski.
Featuring author, psychologist, and daily contributor, Siobhan Scott.
Are they trying to persuade people to look another direction other than at them with this right now?
And look at how concerned we are. We're now on this crusade, but we don't personally have any responsibility here.
Yeah. I mean, and to go on the crusade already, too. I mean, time and place for things. This is just bizarre that we're going to, and he talks about it here in this next clip. Let's take
Crime Stoppers of Houston have offered to help us go to the Texas state legislature and promote a bill, which we're going to call Audrii's Law, to help close that loophole. If they started out with a sexual assault and they plea bargain it down, they still should register so people know that that person has that history. And then you can make up your decision and base your actions on that. We just didn't have the tools. And to do background checks on everybody, they're extremely expensive.
On everybody. That was an interesting statement. Background checks on everybody. Number one, they're not extremely expensive.
They're not.
You can do a background check for under $50 or even less.
I think $1.99 with some
what you spent
services.
Screen printing those T-shirts, you could have done a background check, and you would have to have T-shirts of your dead granddaughter then, because you did the background check of everybody. We're talking about one person here. Who's everybody?
Yeah. It's truly distorted thinking, a weird presentation. The T-shirts are weird. The photo display looks so staged, and it looks self-aggrandizing. Look at us. We're just wonderful people. We did all the right things. And, this is all the fault of the law, which, the law does need to be changed. But this is a very odd way to go about it.
It's not the law that let them down. It's them. It was their own irresponsible, idiotic thinking that let them down.
Yes.
Grandma also takes no responsibility here. Let's take a look.
We know there's other families doing exactly the same thing somewhere. And I don't want them to have to go through this. There's other families that are giving in nature. How do they know? I don't want to see this happen again. Not to anyone at all, ever.
And you said you feel some of the blame, but the blame isn't solely on this family?
No.
I don't feel like it is. I felt like I was doing the Christian thing. I felt like I checked a registry that failed me. It didn't just fail me, it failed previous victims. If we don't have the tools necessary, how are we supposed to make decisions?
Good decisions.
Good ones. I thought I did.
So she thinks she's making a good decision by letting the Nazi hang out in the camper, which, by the way, is not like way back on the property. It's right there. If you're watching the video, it's right next to the house. It's not far as to where they had the pedophile and murderer living. And he's all about, sometimes people get caught up in the heat of the moment.
Heat of the moment. And there are other families who are taking in Nazis with little girls in the house and letting them walk her to school. It's like, somehow I don't think that that's a common thing.
No, it's not. It's not at all. And I'm just curious as to how someone can rationalize this stuff in their head the way that she is. Although we have to look at the arc of the behavior. She rationalized bringing the Nazi in to begin with. So I guess it's not a far stretch if she's thinking other people are having the same problem with the local Nazis.
Do this too. Yeah. And again, it goes back to a very strange interpretation of faith and what faith is supposed to look like. It doesn't mean you sacrifice your children.
Why do you think Dad's not in this? He lives with them as well. There are images of him and Don Stephen McDougal. He's the one who is being charged with this crime. Hanging out together. Looked like there was one where they were at a game of some sort and smiling and laughing and living it up. We're not seeing Dad anywhere. We're not seeing him talk. We're not seeing anything about him whatsoever. Yet these two are going on a media parade. What's going on there?
Dad may not present as well as these folks do, and we can't say that these folks present very well. And so it may just be that he's been advised, stay off camera, don't do interviews. It's not going to look good if you do.
But somehow these two thought it was a good idea.
Yeah. These two like the spotlight.
Yeah, it's another perplexing one, and something that was so preventable with just an ounce of common sense. And clearly, this is a family that does not operate with any of that.
No.
Sick of the ads?
We are too.
Start listening with no commercials now and get access to all of our episodes in advance of everyone else.
Become a True Crime Today Premium Plus subscriber on Apple Podcasts.
Search True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts or go to our podcast page and sign up now.
True Crime Today Premium Plus.
Sign up now.